Hello once again. My name is Darrell Lang, the chaplain at Brittany Point Estates in Lansdale, Pennsylvania. Last month you may remember that I spoke of taking risks for the kingdom, and we studied that from Ecclesiastes chapter 11. Taking risks for the kingdom, of course, is stepping out and away from our comfort zone. But despite our limitations of age and energy, think of the impact you could have in ways you could not imagine by stepping out in faith. It's possible that God might even use you more than when you were 30 years of age. Will Willimon is a retired Methodist bishop. He was also a professor and chaplain down at Duke University in North Carolina. He once asked the question to seniors like himself, "Amid the ravages of time and mortality, what are you giving your life to that will last?" And then he observed that as a college chaplain, the majority of college students who identified as Christians testified that those most responsible for bringing them into the faith were their grandparents. I'm not surprised. I would add that the grandparents and great-grandparents within the sound of my voice this morning can also leave a legacy of what it is to be an active and bold risk-taker who is an ambassador for Christ. So Ecclesiastes 11 instructs us to step out and try even multiple things. Verse 2 says, "Invest in 7 ventures, yes, and 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land." So again, when opportunities to serve Christ, it says to us to act. The very last thing we are to do is nothing. In his book, Aging Matters, author Paul Stevens, who is 78 years old himself, said he keeps a personal mission statement which he keeps before him. There are 4 statements in that mission statement. First, love God with all his heart. 2, to love and cherish his family through provision, affirmation, and protection. And number 3, to beautify God's world by making beautiful things. And then finally, he says to empower the people of God for service to the world and to the church. Now it's true, as verse 6 would tell us, to sow seed and not be idle. It says there also, "For you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well." We know from life experience, from wisdom, that some things we try won't work. Multiple attempts are wise, not just because of the possibility of failure, but for the possibility of success. If you follow baseball, you know this. Baseball players, the best of the hitters, are successful only about 3 in 10 times. The other 7 times, failure. But they don't say, "I give up." They keep trying, and the best of them, when under pressure, are successful, and they do well for their team and for themselves, of course. Now, there is one more observation from the text about this risky business that we've been talking about, and that is stepping out in faith, and that is this. That is to take risks, but realize all the time that God is in control and does what he wants. Verse 5 says, "As you do not know the path of the wind or how a body is formed in a mother's womb, so you cannot understand the work of God, the maker of all things." Everything we do has an asterisk at the bottom of our personal page. And what it says in that footnote is, "if God wills." What God is up to in the world and in our personal world, well, let's just say sometimes we can figure it out, and yet so many other times life is mysterious. God does not choose to give us a running commentary on what he's up to. So it is possible that we can risk, step out in faith, and try different, even creative things to serve him, to glorify his name. And sometimes that happens with few results, or results maybe we can't see. Other times, there are rich harvests and results we can live to see. It's all up to the master, isn't it? I think you have heard what a bucket list is, and that is things that people want to do and see before they kick the bucket. Well, most bucket lists are good desires, but let's be honest, that our experiences, as good as they might be, will die with us. Maybe taking a courageous leap for the kingdom is the greatest legacy we could ever leave. Of course, when we do that, we might have lasting results for maybe generations to come. So every now and then, God wants us to put aside that lazy boy and let us all live and act boldly for Jesus in the time that he gives us. Thank you for listening, and have a blessed day.